Do you like cheese?
I love cheese.
Do you like cheese?
I love it. I like cheese.
Do you like this?
That's called cilantro.
Do you like cilantro?
I do. Do you? No. Okay, so tonight's meal is very special to me because you know how much I love sheet pan nachos. I love the Washington State Beef Commission. We are partnering together to bring you a sensible, nutrient-dense, delicious, very fun dinner. We're making sheet pan nachos, but we're doing it in a different way. I'm actually gonna show you how to make the creamiest, most delicious potato wedges. So normally you do tortilla chips, you can do all kinds of stuff for a sheet pan nacho, but it's traditionally a tortilla chip. But today I'm gonna show you how to use a potato. So I am the queen of creamy, crispy, golden potatoes. It's a superpower that I have and I'm very proud of it. So we're gonna use the ground beef, we're gonna use all of our fixins, and I wanna get started and just show you how I actually wedge out the potato. Okay, and then really quickly, I had some leftover Prosecco that Mike so cleverly put in a mason jar. So I was going through the refrigerator because it was from this morning. I was like, what's this? And I opened it up, I was pleasantly surprised. So you too should store some extra cocktail fixins in a mason jar because there is nothing nicer than having a glass of wine or a glass of Prosecco or a beer or a cocktail or even a glass of water while you cook. I want to start out and show you how I wedge these potatoes. I like to use a Yukon Gold potato because these get really creamy. You can use any potato that you have. A russet's great, a red skin potato, the Bliss ones, you can do sweet potatoes. You just have to watch them a little bit differently. Watch, not wash. Okay, so you got your little wedge. Then I like to just take my knife and I sort of go in at maybe like an angle here. You see that? Slice it into a wedge. So there you go, you've got a little wedge. If you're not comfortable slicing it in at a wedge, I'm just moving my hands around funky so you can see. I like a little point right there. You can just do this, which is equally as acceptable. It just doesn't look as cute. But sometimes we're just not after how cute it's gonna look. You really need to just get your family fed. So now you've got your potato wedges and it's time to season these guys. So I'm gonna put a little olive oil on top, drizzle it all around. And this is where I love the choose your own adventure, where whatever you love to season your potatoes with, you totally can. Right now I'm gonna do some kosher salt. I've got my olive oil, a little bit more because I like these guys nice and salty. And then we're gonna do some cracked black pepper. And then I've got some paprika over here. We're just gonna do a little bit of paprika. And then just, you can use a spatula, I like my fingers. And make sure that your potatoes are well coated with your oil and your seasonings. Okay, pop this single layer of potatoes into a 375-degree oven. I'm putting it down a rack because I'm actually gonna go in there with my potatoes that I've already cooked. So while your potatoes cook, you're actually gonna brown your meat. And this is the opportunity that you can get all your fixins ready. Like, because of the magic of video, we have everything all prepared. Like I chopped and shredded and diced everything up. But while those potatoes cook, you got a full 30 minutes. You're gonna wanna get everything ready to make your actual sheet pan nachos. So here we go. You're gonna go in the hot olive oil with your ground beef. You want your heat nice and high. You want this to be sizzling away. And then let's talk about our seasonings. So here I've got paprika, pepper, salt, turmeric, garlic powder, and some onion powder with chives in it. We're gonna put everything in. Get all that out. Oh, some is stuck in there and that's fine. And you wanna put this in when all your fat and liquid hasn't dissipated because you want to toast up all those spices and seasonings with your meat. And then by the time this is done, a couple of minutes, we're gonna move over here and it's gonna look just like this. Toasty, delicious, sizzly. Here's the best part. So here we are, it's been 40 minutes. I actually cooked these a little bit earlier so that they would cool. I love a potato that actually gets nice and creamy inside. So these are fluffy, they're creamy. And the trick to doing that is cooking a potato, allowing it to cool, and sometimes going in for a second cook, which is what we're gonna do here today. So these are fully cooked. They have no bite to them. That's very, very important because everything melts so quickly. And we've got quite a bit of meat. This is 2 pounds, but it's gonna feed all 4 of us with some leftovers. I actually might not use everything on here. So you just go into the potatoes and be very generous. You want the meat all over. Make sure that you're getting it all out in the little outskirts. And then I'll set this aside and I'll make Noah a burrito for his lunch at school tomorrow. That's kind of fun. He loves that. Always be thinking about other things that you can do. Can I set a little bit aside here? Will it make my day easier tomorrow? So just then, that wasn't planned. I'm like, oh, I'm going to save a little bit of that meat and make it for Noah's lunch. So that's really important. So come in with your cheese next. Be very, very generous. That's about 2.5 to 3 cups of shredded cheese. I buy it on the block because it's cheaper. Load this up. And then you want to put anything else on here that can withstand the oven heat. So olives are great. I always get a can of olives and I love to take them in my hand and just crush them. Crush them. I already crushed a bunch of these earlier, but you just crush them up and that gives a nice texture and they kind of look pretty, especially because we're going to take a picture of this after it's done. And all those little things really add up and help make a pretty photo. I like a couple green onions now and then a lot of green onions to finish. So green onions all over the top. And this, you can do beans, you can do pinto beans, kidney beans, all kinds of fun stuff. This is what's actually going to go into the oven, maybe 5 minutes. Because the potatoes are already cooked, the meat is cooked, we're just melting the cheese, and I like the cheese gooey and the little edges crispy. So here it goes. My oven's at 375. Set yourself a timer for 5 minutes. Take a peek. Don't bake it for more than 10 minutes. It just doesn't need it. And then when it comes out, I'm going to show you how we top it and serve it. Absolutely beautiful. That took no more than maybe 5 minutes, 5 or 6 minutes. And now we top them with all of the fun stuff. So I like hot peppers. I've got some little Fresno chilies, and these guys are super spicy. A great trick, so I'm gonna put these ones all over the top half because me and Michael eat these. Mike doesn't like it too spicy, but we can put them all, maybe a little bit more. And then the boys don't like anything that spicy, so we won't do theirs on that. A couple more green onions. I like the textures, the contrasting textures. Some are gonna be warm. I've got fresh tomatoes. This is the best part. I love a juicy fresh tomato on the hot nachos. These are actually not nachos. They're like tater chos. They're potato nachos. Okay, we've got some radishes. And don't you hate it how your radishes always go bad in like 24 seconds after you buy them and the greens are all wilted? So you got these guys on there. They'll last longer if you remove the greens. And then I like the long cilantro. We'll twist it. This is just so pretty. Put them all over the top. And then the boys can just pick off what they don't like. And then we've got some just regular old jarred salsa. A couple of blops over on this side because I know that that's what I want and that's what Mike wants. The boys will not want super spicy salsa. And this is it. And sour cream everybody loves. So get some real pretty blocks of sour cream. I like to put little bits all over. And this is so good for easy weeknight dinner, a Sunday afternoon, the game. So good. Oh, and I've got some cabbage too. I'm gonna save these little shreds for mine. Put them all over because I love cabbage and Mexican food and those spices with paprika and things like that. So I'll put some of this on there just because it's good. That's all she wrote. So I am very proud. I cannot wait to eat dinner. I know my kids are super hungry. It's real time. It's 4:35, so it's definitely time to eat. So thank you for joining me. Get yourself a cocktail, slice up some potatoes, and make some nachos this way. You're gonna love it, and I'll see you guys again next month.